For advertising partners that we work with who are interested in a range of KPIs, full funnel marketing across the open web, we're actually finding that as signal erosion with cookies and other identifiers are going away, there's really been an opportunity for us to identify other types of information that we can add on to impressions and to the specific user experiences that we have within the content that you can actually use to unlock all of the KPIs that marketers want to achieve for any of their objectives. And so for us, as we start to think about how that additional information about what are consumers really interested in, what is the content that they're on actually telling us about who they are and what they want to do next as that signal as they move down the purchase funnel, that is a huge opportunity for marketers to drive awareness, to drive consideration, all the way down to actual purchases. And in some cases, we have clients who work with us on the media that we run where they see foot traffic increases to their brick and mortar stores because of the digital advertising campaigns that we are running with them.
What strategies is Dotdash Meredith pursuing to capitalize on the growth of the open internet for full funnel advertising?
Well, at Dotdash Meredith, we're really focused every single day on answering questions and helping consumers find information about the things that they're really passionate about. And over 200 million consumers in the US every day come to us to get answers to those questions. And so for us, it really starts with how do we make sure that we're continuously engaging those consumers with all the right information that they need? How are we giving them the right experience, the right answer to those questions? And then from there, what can that engagement with that content really tell us about what they're interested in, and helping our advertising partners be also the answer to the question of what they're looking to accomplish. So as an example, we have the largest portfolio of recipes on the internet. If someone is coming to us and looking for what's for dinner, a lot of our advertising partners want to be the answer to what's for dinner, along with all of the great recipe content that our editorial staff creates. And so it's really about finding that match and that balance together.
How does Dotdash Meredith navigate a fragmented digital landscape to ensure delivery of a cohesive and impactful advertising solution for your clients? Specifically, what role does AI play in that?
Yeah, so I think that AI is allowing us now to take a lot of information that we have. We have so much content across Dotdash Meredith. We've got 40 premium properties, over 1 million articles, and AI tools allow us to make much richer connections between those pieces of content to really help us understand the linking between what someone is reading and where they also might be finding similar information across our portfolio. And so in that way, you can think about the overall engagement with a consumer. There's just so much content that they can actually engage with. And so bringing that together and being able to link those things in a way that is not just cohesive from an engagement perspective in terms of what our consumers might want to be reading or what types of articles they might want to be reading next, but just also for our advertisers, how do you find that consumer in any of those environments, even some of the ones that may not have been immediately intuitive, but they are connected because the topics are similar, and not just that the words are actually similar, but the content and the sentiment and the answer to the question is actually similar, even if actually none of the words are similar. And so in that way, AI is allowing us to bring together a lot more information using all of these language tools to really help us find the right moments for those consumers to meet with their advertising partners.
So how is Decipher using data and audience insights to create a more personalized and effective advertising experience on the open internet? And what role do first-party data and contextual targeting play in your strategy?
Yes. So Decipher uses over 11 billion signals that Dotdash Meredith has across those 40 properties and over 1 million articles to really understand the overall engagement that consumers have with our content. And it really looks at all of the content that's similar, like I was saying earlier, about how those pieces of information are connected and if they're answering the same questions. But it also looks at patterns of consumers at scale who are reading about these kinds of recipes are also reading about this type of travel. And it allows us to bring those things together. And what it really allows us to do is take things like, across our portfolio, we've got financial information, and you might be reading about a 529 plan on Investopedia. You might be reading about how to get a toddler back to bed on parents.com, and you might also be reading about the most teething-friendly recipes on All Recipes or any of our properties. all of those things tell us that you are actively parenting right now. And we actually don't need to know any other information about you to know that that is who you are, and to help our advertising partners find you as a parent in the moment when you are actively thinking about your parenting experience. And so that is the type of connection that Decipher allows us to build. And on top of that, being able to see the unique linkages between different pieces of content, like people who are reading about discipline on parents.com are also reading our dessert recipes at 8 times the average consumer is. Why that's the case, maybe there's a little bit of sort of carrot and sticks lining up for parents, or maybe some of those parents are stress eating a little bit. But when you are looking for those connections, it allows you to build just much more connected and interesting advertising experiences and more engaging advertising experiences for the consumer, because you're meeting them where they are and you're meeting them with more nuance. And all of that is first-party data coming to bear, but all of it is completely cookieless, because we're not looking at anything except, at the end of the day, what is that URL telling us about who you are and what you're interested in right now.
So looking ahead, what's next for the open internet, and specifically what trends or innovations will buyers and sellers embrace?
I think that there's going to be a lot of trending towards looking for these other interesting signals that you can find to really enrich the buying experience outside of signals and identifiers like a cookie. And that's regardless of whether or not cookies end up actually going fully away or not. I think we're now at a point where a lot of advertisers understand that there are other pieces of information that can tell you very interesting things about consumers, and they can even be more predictive than some of the legacy modeling around historic patterns of what people were reading and kind of following them around the internet, looking for what is going to actually tell me, is this person likely to be interested in purchasing my product, and where in the funnel are they, so that I can meet them with the right message and measure the right outcome for the next step that they're going to take next.